What do you think the last piece of business in midfield is going to be? Because of course we're gonna speak about Lavia tonight. Of course we're gonna speak about Thuram tonight. But even I, as optimistic as I am and as grateful as I am for the window we're having, I don't know if we can bring in both. I don't know if it's going to be one or the other, or I don't know if I'm missing something, and maybe we will get both. Now on Lavia, a lot of people have been asking the question about homegrown, and is Lavia homegrown? The question is no, but yes. And not no, but yeah, but no, but I mean no, not right now, but he doesn't need to be because he's under 21. But by the time he hits 21, yes, he will be classed as a homegrown player. So right now, if we signed him, he wouldn't have to go on either squad list because he's under 21, so he could just play as normal. Doesn't have to be registered as part of that 25-man squad, which would have to consist of no more than 17 non-homegrown players and 8 homegrown players. So we will be homegrown by the time he needs to be. Now, Thuram, he's never going to be homegrown, but he's a very good football player. So I really don't know which way this one's going to go. Because last night there was lots of talk at Liverpool, of course, were upping their interest in Khéphren Thuram because of Newcastle. Now today it seems like a lot of journalists are focusing on Roméo Lavia and the fact that Southampton are going to want £50 million for him, but Liverpool and Chelsea look like they're going to do battle for a signature. And I really don't know which way Liverpool are swinging on this one. I don't, but I'm excited. The general consensus seems to be that Liverpool will be looking to make a move for Lavia in the next week. I don't know, but I also don't know much about Lavia. Like, I don't know how good he is, or I don't know if this 50 million valuation that Southampton have on him is away with the fairies, or if it's realistic. It looks like that's what's going to have to be paid, and if you've got interest from multiple clubs, you know, you can get a bit of a bidding war going on. But we also know Liverpool don't like bidding wars. And you don't want to go into a bidding war with Todd Bowley, because Todd doesn't understand not saying the biggest number. Todd loves to say the biggest number. You can only choose keep Thiago and sign one of Thuram Lavia, or sell Thiago and get both. Sell. It's a very easy decision, that. Because we're talking about a Thiago at the latter part of his career, a Thiago that has had some injury concerns, a Thiago that probably doesn't have a natural place in this Liverpool midfield, and he's got 1 year left on his deal, and he's on 200 grand a week. So, look, I'm not actively saying get the lad out of the club, not at all. I love Thiago. But if there's an offer comes in from, I wouldn't say no to it if it frees up a place and a possibility of another younger player. So I hope you don't get Lavia. I don't know whether I should be absolutely excited over Lavia or nonplussed. I haven't got a clue. I don't know enough about the lad at all. If I've seen half an hour of him play football, that would be the extent of it. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I just don't know about Lavia because I've no knowledge of him. The homegrown quota probably plays a huge factor in the Lavia deal. I'm sure it would have some basis of reality behind that, Gumi. But it's important to say as well, like as I said earlier on at the start of the video or stream, Lavia isn't homegrown yet because he doesn't need to be, because he's still under the age of 21. He's only 19. So every opportunity that if we do sign him, yes, he'll be homegrown in 2 years when he needs to be. This in from Fabrizio. Understand Liverpool asked conditions of Roméo Lavia deal. They're in the race. Arsenal working on the deal for 15 days. No official bid from both clubs yet. Man United and Chelsea monitoring the situation, but not in active talks. This could be really interesting because I've not really seen Liverpool go into, I don't want to say a bidding war, but normally we've acted quick in transfers that we've pipped other clubs to. Like Spurs, we came in real quick for Lucho, got that done. Blew Newcastle out of the water for Szoboszlai by getting it done quick. But if Arsenal have been working on Lavia for 15 days, and we've got Chelsea and United and other clubs interested, just out of curiosity, I'm interested to see how we approach it. Or what the lure is to Liverpool for him. So, Fabrizio said, Liverpool are in the race for Roméo Lavia since Monday. No changes despite Szoboszlai and McAllister's incoming. Liverpool remain keen on signing Lavia on list with Thuram. Arsenal still very interested, but it depends on a certain fella's exit. I don't even like to say his name, the dude from Arsenal, because I'm thinking what you're all thinking, and we can't say it out loud for fear of, you know, punishment. But if we can get rid of him out of the league, I'd be happy with that. We're cooking if we sign Thuram Lavia and a left centre-back, said Ryan. Yeah. Now, I threw something at you guys last night. It's still just a theory in my bleeding head, and there's absolutely nothing anywhere to say that this is even in the slightest bit true. The only reason that I can kind of think about Liverpool signing 4 midfielders this summer is if Lavia goes out on loan. That's the only thing I can think of. Because next summer we've no Thiago, no Henderson. Or unless Thiago leaves this summer. So my question or my wonder is, I guess, if we bought in Lavia, did they loan him back out for another season's experience somewhere? While, you know, we still have Fabinho and Bajcetic. And then maybe when next summer comes around and we lose Thiago and maybe we look at Henderson's situation, then he's a year's more experience, as does Carvalho. That's my guess. But it is just that. It's just something in my own noggin. Cryptical said, it seems like the Lavia interest is real and ramping up. Do you think we'll sign Thuram as well as Lavia, or do you think we need both? So I'd be amazed if we signed both in a positive sense. And I touched on it a little bit earlier on, and it's complete guesswork, mate. But I wonder if they're thinking longer term with Lavia. So let's say they did get both, and only in this scenario my idea makes sense. Maybe loan Lavia out for a season, keep Fabinho, and then see at the end of next season how Lavia's gotten on, how Fabinho is. Thiago will be out of contract. Henderson will be 1 year away from being out of contract. So, you know, that's the only thing I can think of, because bringing in 4 brand new midfielders would mean we'd have, in your scenario, Thuram, McAllister, Szoboszlai, Lavia, Jones, Elliott, Bajcetic, Fabinho, Thiago, Henderson. That's a lot of midfielders. Rather loan out Elliott than Lavia. Yeah, but they're completely different players. One is a right-sided midfielder or right winger. The other's a defensive midfield player. So, I mean, I'm not against loaning out Elliott if Klopp thinks it's the best for his development, but it's going to be interesting to see the minutes that Elliott may or may not get now. I think we've been tracking Lavia for a while. It makes sense because even before the window, our search was mainly based off Premier League players like McAllister and Lavia, said Rafiq. I think there's a lot of sense to what you're saying. We also know that if it dragged on to next summer, as an example, and nobody bought Lavia, Manchester City could exercise their buyback clause, which kicks in next summer. So, yeah, I've no doubt we're interested. That seems to be fairly concrete. But as I said, it'd be interesting to see if we pull it off, how we can outmaneuver Arsenal, Chelsea, United. We seduced Thuram. What are we doing? Lavia, X-rated. Yeah, I mean, I can't help but feel like we did put a lot of groundwork in for Thuram, and he's still liking posts of Szoboszlai signing and stuff. So I really find it hard to believe that we've dropped that interest. But then I also find it equally as hard to believe we're going to sign 2 more midfielders. So it's a very weird situation, because, like, let's say Thuram ended up signing for Newcastle. It looked really odd after all the liking of Liverpool stuff that he's been doing. So that kind of gives you the impression that he feels he's coming to Liverpool.